Mele Kalikimaka by Robert Alexander Anderson. Next up, we're going to play through it again with the Guitar Pro neck diagram, tablature, and standard notation. To get a better understanding of the fingerboard and knowing where the notes are and the shapes, take my free course on foundational patterns. Link to that in the description down below. In this arrangement, we're primarily working with thirds and sixths, which form harmonic pairs and help to support the melody. I'll take you through this step by step after the playthrough. Okay, let's get started. Okay, now that we've played through it again, let's work on the step-by-step. I'll have all the notation here on the screen, but you can also purchase a PDF if you like. I'll link to that in the description down below. Okay, so we start here in position, actually I'm in position 1, and that is just to help facilitate the slide because the second finger will end up on fret 11 here. So totally optional, but just to kind of move up here, trying to get the slide up here, and then we get to position 10. Okay, and we play 10 and 11. And then we're going to play fret 12 using fingers 3 and 4. Okay, and then we're moving back, move out a little bit, and then back in. Okay, down 9 and then 10. And then back into the string 4, fret 12. Okay, and then we're going to play these. Now, you can play these as harmonic pairs. I am including another note in here just because this is kind of modeled after the typical intro from the Bing Crosby recording. Okay, and then we're going to go over. So this is another one, position 7, where you could play just the outer voices if you like. And then we're going to go into frets 8 and 9 on strings 2 and 4. Okay. Okay, then we're going to go to frets 10 and 11. We're trying to just generally get the sliding effect. You can also do a lot of vibrato, maybe to emulate the sound of a slide guitar. Okay, and then we're going to fret 5, excuse me. Using the same fingers, just try to get that sliding effect, and then down to 3 and 4. Okay, and then we have this little walk down here with the thirds harmonic pairs. So I'm using the same fingering, just moving position. Then we have this other fingering here, 10 and 11. Same fingers going down, and then we're going to go to position 5, fingers 3 and 4 and 7. Okay, and that ends our intro. So here we have the melody. Okay, so we have position 2. We're going to let that go down a half step, back up, and then major third. Okay, so shifting around there with thirds, and then here major 6. Okay, Again, trying to get a lot of sliding going on. I'm gonna have frets 2 on strings 2 and 3, and I'm using 2 individual fingers again so that I can slide the second finger up as I go ahead and plant 5 and 6. Okay, and then we're gonna go open strings 4 and 2, fingers 1 and 2, and then 3 and 2. Okay, and then we're gonna shift down and back up again. And then we're going to change from minor 6 to major 6. And then string 2, fret 5. And then back down to 2. Okay, back to frets 2 and 4 here on the middle 2 strings. So it's a little bit different than before. Then we're going to go into position 8 here. Play the outside of this voicing, and then I have finger 1 ready for a melody note on string 3. And then we're going to go to 7 on strings 2 and 4. And then we're going to go fret 5. Then we're going to play string 2, fret 4. And then we're going to move into thirds. Okay, and then we have this series of just thirds walking down, and we get a little bit outside with that sharp 5 on the A7. And then we get into D, fret 7. Okay, now our next segment here, we have A minor. Okay, so we're just sliding around on that, and then switch over our strings to 2 and 4. Go from 7 to 3 and 4. And go up to position 5 again, minor thirds here. Okay, and then we have back to sixths. Okay, fret 2. Go into strings 2 and 4. Try to get a little bit of a slide going there. And then we're going to go up to position 6. And play down to 5 like that. Now we're kind of like at the beginning, but different direction here. So here we go to 10. Okay, 7 and 7. Okay, 12. Okay, 10 and 11. Sliding. 7 and 7, and then 3 and 4. And then you can play this little part that we played earlier. And you could play 4 and 3, or you could maybe put the A in there. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. You may need more help with this tune or others. Set up a consultation and we'll point you in the right direction. Or you can go ahead and sign up for a private lesson. Also, check out our member area at fretprints.com, where we have exercises, live streams, lessons, articles, and more. Sign up for a free trial. Enjoy your practice session, and I'll see you all in the next one.